Yes, ma'am, you can start. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hey everyone, I'm not sure how many of you are watching, but I'm just going to get started. My name is Rebecca Venugopal, and I am currently a senior program manager working in Amazon return space. Fun fact, me and my sister have the same first name, so I don't use that more often. I mostly use my second name, which is Rebecca, so all of you can refer me as Rebecca. So I think the topic today is about how you can make it worthwhile, right? Wherever you are in your career, in your personal life, and so on. So I'm just going to quickly go through my journey in the IT sector, also just of my personal life and where I am right now and how I've made it worthwhile. So I guess it could be of any help to any of you who's listening. So I started off in a school that was pretty popular back there, back in that time, and so that gave me a very good foundation in my especially in my language, I would say. After that, I moved to a not so popular school, basically, but that school kind of enabled me to understand that I can actually study and be also the top among the class. So I'm telling you all this because I do not come from a very affluent background. I did come from a very lower middle class background, but I just worked my way up through, is what I'm trying to tell you. So after that, I joined WCC, Women's Christian College, and I did my BSc Computer Science. That again was not all planned out. In fact, my mother wanted me to do something in the medical field, either become a doctor or a nurse or a physiotherapist, primarily because my grandparents were nurses. In fact, in my 11th and 12th, I did take math and biology, and computer science was not even a paper. So, but things changed. It became too expensive back in that time, and I was just left with just one option as to just say, hey, just do a bachelor's degree in some arts college, right? So I got my degree in WCC. It was computer science. Everything was absolutely new, but I just went with the flow. Not too much of plan, not too much of thinking, but this is what I got at that point in time, and I just jumped in. Uh, and of course, during college days, I didn't quite have the vision as to what next, right? Like, should I get into IT? Should I become a developer? All of that was being a topic of discussion during our third year when the campuses kind of came in. But unfortunately, I would say, I passed out in 2009. Back then, we had um, the recession hit, so most of the campuses that hired us did not kind of call. So I had two offers, but none of the companies did call me. So I was actually forced to go all out into the job market to get to secure a job for myself. Uh, Again, fortunately, I was interviewed in Amazon for a catalog specialist role, nothing related to computer science that I actually studied. In fact, anybody could do that job. It was a, 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 a very monotonous, menial kind of a job. Anybody could have done that. So none of my education kind of helped me with my job, but definitely it helped me to in terms of communication, stakeholder engagement, and so on, right? So I joined Amazon. I was actually interviewed for three different teams, but I did not get through the first two teams. I did get through the third team, which was more of a filter because they wanted the most um, uh, uh, top cream layer for the first two teams and the remaining into the last team. But anyways, I got into Amazon, and I was just doing a catalog specialist job, and I was with a team called pricing. But I was with Amazon for over 6 years, but through those 6 years, I was able to grow up the ladder. I was able to, when I quit Amazon, I quit as a tech specialist lead. So through those 6 years, I had four promotions. I was able to kind of grow my skills, especially the process, and then moved from a manual process into automation and then into tech. So it was a gradual movement in my career, but I was able to do that. And also back then, when I joined, I remember my first salary was about 10,000 rupees a month, and back then it was a huge amount of money. But when I quit Amazon, I think I quit around 40 to 50,000, right? So it was a lot of learning through the process, and of course, monetary things will also come in between. After that, since I had a bit of SQL experience and so on, I was able to secure a job with Groupon.com as a business analyst. I was primarily analyzing data and sending out reports to senior leadership, but there was a very short-lived stint. After that, I did something major, a life-changing event happened in my life. I got married. I completely relocated to the US. So that was a big career gap in my life. For about 2 years, I was unable to work due to a lot of visa issues and so on. But towards the end, I did secure a job with Apple again as a business system analyst, a lot of SQL, a lot of querying, a lot of reports, and so on, right? But I did have a very good mentor back there in Apple who helped me to pave a way in my career, and that was kind of a turning point in my career as well. On the personal front, as I mentioned, I got married, I moved to the US, but on the personal front, fortunately and unfortunately, I had a divorce. So that was a major turning point in my life, I would say, in every aspect, emotionally, personally, even career-wise, I would say that was a big turning point. I was asked to do everything on my own. I was asked to get up and step up and keep walking, right? So it was a kind of a wake up call to me as well. And that was a major turning point in life because I think as women, we are so trained, we are so conditioned by society, by family, by friends, even by peers, right? That we need to be a certain way, we need to achieve a certain milestone at a certain age, and so on. So we are so very conditioned that way. But this major setback in my life was a complete shake to my whole ecosystem. It was a complete reset, is what I would say. I'd like to really touch point here because I think, as I said, women are conditioned to do certain things in a certain timeline, especially marriage and especially childbirth, right? We are given timelines to do that, and I think as little girls we also anticipate a lot towards that. We dream about it. We put on every single detail about it, and we just look forward to it. And when it crashes down, when things don't go the way you want it, I think your world kind of shakes up, right? But I really want to tell you, girls out there, there's more to life. I think all of these milestones that the society sets is something that you can redefine, is something that you can have a clean slate board for yourself, and you can draw the timeline of your life just by yourself. You can set your own milestones. It does not really have to be what this society and this culture or your parents or your friends kind of set for you. I think you have your own timeline in your life. You can decide whatever you want to do. So I think that's something that I really wanted to point out at that point, right? So moving on, as I mentioned, it was a turning point. That's when I relocated back to India, and then I secured a job with a genealogy company. So that's when I first transitioned from a data analysis, a catalog related, retail related job to product management. So I was a product owner for a data team where we were creating data pipelines for data sources from different aspects of the network, and how it is processed and how it's finally given to our customers. So I kind of managed the entire life cycle of data across this ecosystem of data and genealogy. And that's when the transition happened from a business analyst to a product manager. And then I moved to a product manager role. I was again a data related product manager for a stockbroker, who's a major stockbroker in the UK. That gave me a lot of exposure um, uh, to how things are done in the stock world. A lot of purview into that. So after I came back to India, my field also changed radically from retail. I was able to move into the world of data, in the world of trading, and so on, right? And then I rejoined Amazon. I was a boomerang candidate. But again, fortunately, that was a time when Amazon was laying off a lot of people. So the role that I was hired for kind of closed. So I was mapped into another role, which I was really not interested because it was the previous team that I left. So they rehired me. But anyways, I joined and I was there for that in that team for about a year doing program management. So if you look at the trajectory, I started off as a catalog specialist, moved into tech, and then moved into product management, and then a program manager right now. Uh, that's a point where again, I thought, okay, fine, what do I do next, right? And Amazon had opportunities all over the world where it gave me the flexibility to move wherever I want to move. So that's when I decided, okay, fine, I think I need to do something else in life to make it more exciting. I wanted to move somewhere outside of India. So I tried applying for jobs in Europe, but that did not work out. And then finally, I was able to secure a job in the US within Amazon itself. And then I relocated here almost exactly a year ago. It was an adventure in itself because this is the first time that I stepped out of my home completely. I was, of course, living alone, but stepping out and being far, far away from home. This was the first time that I did. I think that I needed something challenging in my life. I needed something to push me and drive me. So it was a very conscious decision of me to make this move, and I was able to do it. And through that process, I learned a lot, right? I learned how to kind of do everything all by myself, how to be absolutely independent. Um, and how to find new friends, because when you are in a city, when you're in your comfort zone for a very, very long time, you have your acquaintances, you have your friends, you never step out of your comfort zone at all. But this experience kind of gave me a whole new view about the world, a whole new selves that I've never discovered at all. Like, especially making friends when you are 35 years old, making new friends, making your own community. creating their own space in this new city was something absolutely alien to me, and that is a skill that I acquired, I believe, in this last 1 year. Also, I really wanted to touch on another aspect as well. When this major setback in my personal life happened, I one thing that really helped me recover from that setback was travel. Um, it kind of gave me a new perspective about life itself, where you suddenly feel very, very small in this big cosmos. Your problems in life seems very, very small, and it almost close to disappears when you are traveling, right? Because you need to be on your guard. You are in a new city. You have to look after yourself. So this feeling of freedom at the same time, you also feel so empowered that you are able to do things on your own. So I think travel through the last 6, 7 years has helped me a lot. It helped me to discover myself. It helped me to understand who I really am, right? Because as women, I think not generally as women, but as I think Indians as such, we are not taught to discover ourselves. We are not taught to dream. We are not taught to um, um, uh, you know, um, uh, self love and all of that, right? It's something that I learned through all of this journey, through these ups and downs, right? So I think that is something that really, really helped me to step out of my comfort zone, to be able to discover myself through this journey. And when you do it solo, right, when you are solo traveling, it gives you a lot of autonomy over what you can actually do. So you can actually pick and choose. It just you just feel like you are the boss of your own world, which is absolutely empowering. So connecting back to the topic as to how you can actually make it worthwhile, right? While you are in your career, in your personal lives, and so on. I just want to connect back my journey and my story with how you can actually make it worthwhile. There are the three things that I wanted to kind of give you guys as a takeaway. I think there would be ups. The first one is as you go through life, there will be a lot of ups and a lot of downs, a lot of things that would shake you. But what I've learned is you get up and walk. When you fall, you get up and walk. You don't be stagnant. You don't stay. You don't stay depressed. You don't feel awful about the failure that just happened. That is a phase that you have to grieve, that you have to go through, but always remember that this is only a phase, that life will move on, that better things will come, better things will happen, there will be healing and so on, right? So the first thing that I really want to emphasize is um, keep moving on. Please get up and walk. Don't stay depressed. Remember that this is only a phase. This is only a very short time, and this will pass. The second one is, especially as women, I think we're never taught to say no, right? I learned that skill over the last 5, 6 years to learn to say no. And you can only say no when you know what you want in life, right? That exactly you know exactly what your standards are. So I think that skill that you will have to develop, there's a muscle that you will have to develop as women to say no. The third and the final thing that I wanted to emphasize is discover yourself, right? Um, as we grow up, I think we need to identify what exactly makes you happy, what exactly makes you sad. I think a basic definition. I think you need to sit with yourself and be comfortable with yourself in your own skin, and then discover yourself. You need to understand who you really are, what you really need. I think this reiterates to the previous step that I say, when you know what you want in life and who you are prone to say no when things that are not for you comes to you, right? So I think these are the three things I think that has made my journey worthwhile through all of these years, and I hope it will get better and better in the future as well. And I think that's all the yarn that I have for all of you, uh, girls out there, women out there. I think I just wanted to tell you that you are important, that you are precious. Your contribution to the world is very, very important. the dormant divine feminine energy is just waiting to come out. I think you just have to let go of it. So a very very happy Women's Day to all the women out there. Dream big, and I think everything will just fall in place for you. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was really great to hear about your career journey and all the ups and downs you went through. And I am sure that it will help a lot of learners, especially the female learners who want to become successful in their lives. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Absolutely. Thanks, Yash. Thanks for hosting this. Appreciate it. And I really thank Josh for having me over. So yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, yes, ma'am. And once again, happy Women's Day to you, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time.
See you. Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Bye.